Briefing Magazine. It's good to have you with us. So what does this decision mean for the millions of people who are in desperate need of aid at this point?
Well, it means that, number one, the EU, imposed, suspended this $109 million, budgetary support, just to make sure that Ethiopia grants full humanitarian access for the relief workers and also access for civilians seeking refuge in neighboring countries, and also an end to ethnically targeted measures and hate speech, and restoring communication lines and media access in the Tigray region.
There was also apparently a deal with UNICEF for the same thing as well. I wonder if they have been allowed to get these humanitarian assistance to the people who really so desperately need them.
Well, most of the aid agencies are complaining of inaccessibility, to those in need, to the civilians affected by the conflict. But what this suspension of aid, the $109 million aid, which constitutes about 13% of the government's budget, is going to put a strain on the economy, which is already struggling to deal with the impact of the coronavirus pandemic and the conflict. Mm-hmm. Look, already economic growth is already forecast to slow down to 1.9% this year from 9% in 2019. So, the effects, the impact of this suspension will be badly felt by Ethiopians, the average guy on the street in Ethiopia.
And how likely do you think it is that the Ethiopian government will guarantee that aid workers and others will have free access to get this aid to the people in the region?
Well, I recall the Ethiopian authorities, the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, saying a week or so ago that the aid workers, the humanitarian workers agencies, had access to the civilians affected. But how far, the access has been granted is not yet known. So I believe that with the suspension of this badly needed budgetary support, maybe the Abiy government will take measures to ensure that the humanitarian services have enough access to help the affected civilians.
All right, let's also take a look at what the situation looks like moving forward. You're looking at the government federal forces capturing the most important cities, so the capital city in Tigray, and then the second largest city. The PFLP saying they're going to continue fighting. Either side is calling the other illegitimate. What do you think is going to happen as we move on?
Well, you see, for a lot of people, including myself included, were surprised when Abiy decided to mount a military offensive against Tigray. But then we're not shocked because of the events leading up to the military offensive. Everybody knows Abiy to be a peacemaker. He won the Nobel Peace Prize last year and all that. But the dynamics within the country, number one, the Tigrayans, before Abiy came to office, dominated the political sphere in Ethiopia, and also most of the economic activities. And since Abiy came to office, he has diluted that influence, that power that the Tigrayans had. So it has created some bad sentiments on the part of the Tigrayans, right? There were elections due to be held this year, okay? And the central government in Addis Ababa said, look, we should postpone these elections in view of the coronavirus pandemic. But the Tigrayans who see Abiy as an illegitimate head of the country, went ahead and held their own elections, which was an affront to the authority of the Addis Ababa government. Okay,
Right.
And then it went on to attack some federal government military installations. That triggered this current conflict. So I'm not sure with the intransigence on the part of the Tigrayans and Abiy, it will take a massive diplomatic effort to get them.
It sure will take a massive diplomatic effort. Mr. Ansah, I'm really sorry, but we really have to move on. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. John Offei-Ansah, publisher and founder.